Alright guys, welcome back to another Discord League cast. We have Heinzel versus Nomen, which is going to be Scorpion Mirror, but it's pretty important invitational points ramifications here. So both of these players need to win to kind of guarantee themselves in points, right? So both players are at 26 points moving into... No, sorry, next. So, Nomen's at 29, Heinzel's at 26. So, if Nomen wins this match, he's pretty close to guaranteed, if not being guaranteed to make the Invitational. Heinzel needs to win this to have a really good shot. If he loses this, he's not guaranteed. But if he wins, he's gonna lock up a chance to make it too. So we're gonna find out here. So, taking a quick look at the deck list here, we have Nomen on his traditional Crab Splash with 2 Watch Commanders, 3 Pathfinder's Blades, and a Reprieve. Nomen is playing Favored Niece, along with 3 Assassination and 3 Way of the Scorpion. He is playing two Spies, of course, also. So, and then the 1 I Can Swim. So, definitely having the Niece here will help him in the mirror to get rid of some Calling in Favors and Way of the Scorpion when he doesn't want them. The swim, stuff like that. And then we see that Heinzel's playing Dragon Splash still. Heinzel has 2 Cloud the Mind, 3 Fans, 3 Katanas. Nomen's playing 2 Kachikos as only conflict characters, and then Heinzel's playing 2 Megan Informants and 2 Yojimbos. We see the 3rd Fate Worse Than Death versus 2 from Nomen. We see 1 Calling in Favors, 2 Let Go. We see both players on 1 Censure. We see Heinzel's only on 1 Charge. And then the big thing here is that Heinzel's not playing Favored Niece. And that will really, really hurt him in the mirror with only 3 Way of the Scorpion. Or with 3 Way of the Scorpion and these Let Goes. Although the attachment control is actually pretty good in this matchup, as it normally isn't. So, let the players know that they're good to go. And then Heinzel's on Seeker Cache finally, permanently. Got him to switch off that. Thanks for the bits, Lamber. So we see Nomen immediately buys Niece 2 Fate. We see Liar 1 Fate versus Manipulator. Both players playing pretty quickly. Already going through conflicts. We see Political Void hit Seeker Cache. Obviously not what you want to see. We see Nomen immediately cycles Way of the Scorpion. Really smart. We see a fan come out. No one passes. No one just takes the break. Interesting. Interesting to be sure. We did see Nomen already get to use his Stronghold because of the Manipulator, whereas Heinzel was not able to, but I'm really surprised that Nomen just let that break. Heinzel just needs to click on the guy. The way rings resolve changed, so it's like slightly different than it used to be. You just have to click on the person now instead of clicking. We see favorable ground coming in after he hits Pilgrimage. Probably going to see a policy debate here. I believe that Heinzel is on... Oh, he's only on 1. Okay. He's on 1 and Nomen's on 3. So Nomen has three policy debates and 2 spies at court. We're going to see a spies at court here. So there's the dishonor status. I'm assuming spies at court is going to come out here. Or we're going to see an edict from Heinzel. So there's the spies at court. Discards for shame and cloud the mind at random. Yeah, Soto, the old dishonor match from the get-go. Okay, so while Heinzel has a break, it is reasonable for him to win by or for either player to win by conquest. But the problem with this matchup is that it almost always comes down to dishonor. So we're going to see a Nice come in here. Are we going to see him? He's going to just try and go for a new province with this Pathfinder's Blade. He wants to hit Shameful Display more than anything at the moment. Seeker Cast should be good too. Hits Shameful Display really strong here. Denies Heinzel the Seeker Fate from Seeker of Void. And then he's also going to be able to cancel Shameful Display. So we see a Fury come out. We see no Edict. Pathfinder's Light is still available. We see the honor be left from the character leaving, so that means Nomen's box is active again, or still active. We do see this 5 strength liar still on the board. Are we going to see Miyako? He keeps Miyako, and he flips Palace on Pilgrimage. That's insane. He also flips Rumor Monger and Illusionist, both strong cards here. Favorite Niece still available. We see Shoju, Yunako, another Manipulator. Chaos Dunk, the rules reference guide was just updated. You are allowed to have Support of the Phoenix along with your Keeper Seeker roll, which makes sense. Maybe someone in chat can link you directly to that ruling. I'm gonna grab Sir Largeness here to co-cast with me. So we see Plagiarist come out here with 3 Fate from Nomen, immediately copies Fury. So this card here is pretty sweet. it has Courtier, Shugenja, and then he has an action to copy the topmost event of an opponent's conflict pile. And currently the top event was Fury.
Howdy.
Hey, what's up? I sent you the password. It is the pincer mirror. We see Nomen run into Seeker Cache, but he uses Pathfinder's Blade to cancel. And then we see a Fate Worse Than Death being used on the niece. Don't think she had activated her ability yet. Yeah, she has not used her ability.
All right. Sorry for coming in a little bit late here. What turn are we in?
So this is turn 2. Turn 1, Heinzel bought Liar 1 Fate, put a fan on it, and just broke Seeker Cache. There's no recourse. It was really awkward. It was really weird. No one bought Niece 2 Fate and Manipulator 1 Fate. Manipulator got voided, and then it ran into Pilgrimage. He used Spies at Court, and Heinzel discarded For Shame and Cloud the Mind at random. Niece cycled a Way of the Scorpion, and I believe an I Can Swim. And now we're on turn 2. The Niece just so Niece made the first attack into Seeker Cache. Seeker Cache got canceled by Pathfinder's Blade, and then we saw the
Worse Than Death.
We saw Fate Worse Than Death, yeah. Without Niece being activated, so Niece is not going to be able to cycle this turn.
Pretty good.
Some stuff is happening here. So we see an assassination being attempted by Nomen. We see an edict come out from Heinzel, and then it looks like he moves the status? Or is that 2 edicts? Okay. Why did 2 edicts get played?
I think it's an issue with like the triggers. Like even the way that the Jigoku's set up now.
Wait, is this something I need to inform the players on? Like, why did he just? There's no actual reason for him to have played 2 edicts. I
don't think so. No. That's appropriate to do.
Well, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, and it's an interface thing. Yeah, see, Heinzel saying, "Wait, what?" Yeah.
Because it'll leave the trigger open for you to do it again, even if there's not another thing coming down.
It's a UI thing where the window still stays up. Yeah. So currently on the server, it allows you to cancel your own effects with cards like Edict or Finger of Jade, and it doesn't make a lot of sense because you just would never do that. And so they're working on fixing that.
So,
like it's very
his own forged edict.
Well, it's just very obvious that he. I mean, all right. Well, so because Rega said that I could be okay. So both players revealed information. Alright, one sec.
No, I'm not the only one who fucks up on the interface every now and then. Of course, I do it through aggressive passing, not aggressive forged edicting.
Yeah.
So, at least Heinzel's being, like, cautious. Saying that he wished that there was like a policy on this, but I think
there is no policy. I mean,
I mean, I think this is as good a policy as you really can have, right? Like just having a judge on hand for these kinds of situations.
I know Nomen's a Magic player, has played Magic before at a competitive level, so I'm using him, giving him I'm citing a Magic example on why this is the decision that I came up with. Nope, still can be walked back. There is no UI bug IRL. I mean, there's no user interface in real life. In real life, I say I play Forged Edict on Assassination, you say okay, and then it resolves. I'm then not going to Forged Edict my own edict or the assassination again. There's just...
So something that is interesting for the board state right now is that Illustrious Plagiarist has already used its ability for the Miyamoto's Fury.
Yeah.
So it can't copy the Fate Worse Than Death right now. It will be interesting to see if... Heinzel keeps the Socio-Illusionist through to next turn. If he does, would that indicate that he's got a Cloud? He's playing Clouds, right?
He's playing 2. He's already discarded 1 though. Let me just see what's happened in the conflict. I believe it's a 2. I believe it's two things attacking. I believe the Fury was used on Miyako after. Yeah, Illustrious Plagiarist bows Miyako. Okay. We see a Bonsai on the Rumor Monger, and then we see...
I don't think any respectable Scorpion mirror should be met without some kind of controversy. So this fits perfectly well with what's going on in the board state. There should be... Let's see here. I think that's correct. Does it look like we're where we should be?
Yeah, one sec.
Yeah.
Nomen is basically making his case, and so...
It's all playing 2 Forged Edicts and keeping it that way?
My argument is that Nomen, so basically Nomen's saying that he feels that his opponent is getting advantage for making a mistake, and I'm arguing that it's not a mistake or a takeback. He's just very clearly a bug, and very clearly he didn't mean to do it. Like, there's just in no world would a good player want to play one of the most important cards in the matchup and give himself an extra dishonor status for actual no gain. And then Nomen is making a fair point and saying that you could, in theory, give yourself an extra dishonor for whatever reason you want to, but the corner case scenario for that is so low and just very clearly not what the player meant to happen. Based on Heinzel's reaction too, because as soon as I said something, he just like looked at his graveyard, like what the or actually when the Fate Worse Than Death happened, he probably meant to edict it, and he's just like the edict wasn't in his hand. Because he's just like, what's happening here? Like, it's very clear from what I see. And when you have live judges, this is what happens. Like, that is how games should be done.
Now, Nomen, I guess, can say that now, Heinzel knows he has a fate worse than death.
Well, I mean, so Nomen knows that he has the second edict.
Sure. And there is a somewhat of, like, law of averages coming out now. Like, Nomen's drawn half of his deck. Heinzel would have to expect that he has should be playing as if he has a fate worse than death in his hand anyway. So I don't feel that piece of information actually matters.
Sure.
You would just assume that they have it.
Yeah, but I mean, also both players gained information, so that was the other reason that I didn't have a problem walking it back. Is both players. Rumonger is currently blanked because of the fate worse than death issue that we ran into. So Heinzel's going to use his Rumonger to have the niece become honored via shameful display. So the other thing that
Watch Commander, it's pretty good on a three fated illustrious plagiarist. That Watch Commander is actually going to do things. In this game.
And Nomen does have 2 Watch Commanders.
Watch Commander is one of the stronger pieces whenever you're running Crab Sub in the mirror. Nomen, I think at this point in time, is somewhat famous for sticking with Crab Sub throughout different cups. I just, for his particular playstyle, I do think that it works best. I know that I'm positive Nomen has tested the Dragon Splash here or there, and for a reason, it just either doesn't work for him or he doesn't like it. So there definitely is, continuing reasons why he continues to pick the Crab Sub and why it continues to be strong for him.
I was gonna say that the other thing that made me want to make the ruling the way I did was the UI has recently changed for Jigoku. They made a bunch of UI changes, the way rings resolve, the way that prompts show up, and if you hadn't played since the UI's changed, or if you didn't have that much experience with some of the new UI things, it can definitely throw you off. Like the first time, I didn't resolve my ring properly because I just didn't understand what was happening.
And actually, that was a problem, I think, just in the bug, like air ring, even when you're trying to select it correctly, wasn't actually resolving. I think that's been fixed, but it is like, the way that rings resolve now is completely different. It is very easy to just click through and mess it up. So I guess at this, there is probably an argument for, at this high level of play, people should understand the interface, but especially with the way that interrupts and reacts are working right now, and that those windows continue to stay open even after you react to it, it can be very, very difficult.
It can just be misleading, right? So Heinzel's basically saying he thought that Nomen had played a card, so it was giving him a new window, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, still for saying, you just have to be honest. Like, there's going to be issues as the platform changes, right? Like, it's a free thing that we all get to use. Very, it's awesome, right? But there's going to be issues. Like, we are the QA team for the devs. Like, you basically just go after this and say to the devs, look, I need, the way that the interface is coded right now is not good. Like, we need, it shouldn't be offering you the ability to cancel your own stuff like that.
The stakes are somewhat low as well in terms of just walking back mistakes like that. If you catch it on time, and to where not a lot of the board state has changed, walking it back shouldn't be something that causes issues that just loses somebody the game.
So, I'm not saying that players are obligated to do this, but personally, if I was in that situation and I saw Heinzel play double edict on one spell, I would just ask in chat before I did anything, did you mean to do that? It doesn't make any sense. Because to me, it's very clearly a mistake. So, the opponent that I'm playing against, I respect them. I respect them to be a good player. I expect them not to just make some banana play.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting thing is when we're talking about like interfaces is that like, you know, on Magic Online, sure, you miss a trigger, you're done. But like that interface is something that's professionally created by a team of people who work on fixing bugs on it round the clock.
Well, the triggers also just go on the stack.
Yeah, and like, this is a volunteer created program that does, as you know, that performs very, very well considering what it is. But you still have to have some leeway for, you know, when weird things like that happen.
Steel for you can check. So after the assassination gets canceled, if you it says in chat that he's used Forged Edict twice. It just says that they've used Edict twice. Let me just see it real quick here. There's the fate thing.
No, but I don't think that the chat shows whenever, like the chat only shows something.
No,
after it's resolved.
Yeah, so after the assassination gets canceled by edict, it says right here, Heinzel dishonors younger monster to cancel assassination using Forged Edict. Heinzel dishonors Bayushi Liar to cancel assassination using Forged Edict. It literally says in chat that he's used an edict on the same event twice. It doesn't make any sense.
I think what Twitch is, or what the chat's trying to get at here is that the text box doesn't update until those things resolve. So and be able to check the chat box to see, oh, is a Forged Edict being played by my opponent? Because it doesn't tell you that until it's resolved.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see.
So let's see here.
So we see a military conflict. He's coverts the plagiarist, but then we see the second watch commander come down onto Shoju here. So it's 6-4 in the meditations. Meditations are probably gonna meditations the Yojimbo, I would have to imagine. We did see Miyako triggered, and Nomen discarded its Spies Accord at random.
Why do you think that he played the Yojimbo with a fade on it just to attack into meditations? Just because like something's gonna get stripped? In this situation, it would feel better to just attack Hairu into the meditations to like pull shit over than, you know, and then maybe try and stealth over and take Shameful on your next. This feels like a very odd use of resources to me.
That's fair. So we see the Watch Commander get used on this Katana. Watch Commander can actually be positive for Heinzel here. If he plays one more card, he can then box. Like, there might be an argument to not use Watch Commander. So we see a debate come out here between Shoju and this Yojimbo. Very clearly. So, you know, now that he sees... So, Heinzel's hand is actually only 4 cards. This Way of the Scorpion is a 0. So, I wonder what you'll take here. It's between discards Fury, sure. So, it doesn't care about the Edict then. I guess there's only one Edict target, and here you'd have to dishonor Hero.
Illustrious Plagiarist been used yet? To copy anything?
Do not believe so. Maybe he wanted to...
Okay, he just used it to copy a Fury.
Sure, okay, so he wanted a better target than for Fury. So yeah. If he takes Edict and hasn't used the Plagiarist, then he's in trouble.
The argument for choosing Fury over Fate Worse Than Death.
He could have taken Policy Debate, copied Policy Debate, and then debated again, and gotten 2 cards. It also wouldn't be Fate Worse Than Death. It would be For Shame. Where are you getting Fate Worse Than Death from?
Illustrious Plagiarist not copy the Fate Worse Than Death in Heinzel's discard pile?
Well, the top event was For Shame. It's not. You can't pick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
This card isn't completely Nutter Butters, where you just get to pick whatever event you want.
Ignore me.
Yeah. Chris, I now see how you do so well with Scorpion. You just play Illustrious Plagiarist, as I get to pick whatever event I want.
The locals with that. It's so good.
So we see the Fury come out here from the Plagiarist. We're seeing a dishonor status be put onto Shoju here. I'm assuming I don't know what's happening here. So Heinzel used his Stronghold. I think we're having an Edict fight. Oh, calling in favors. Okay.
I think Heinzel's going to run into a huge card disparity issue now. And like using just 4 resources on a Yojimbo that's now going away this turn to attack into meditations, all that just felt very, very weird to me. to still kind of lose on the attack there. I would have much rather just Hyrule in, had it bowed by Fury, and then grabbed a guy over, and then tried to have a much more impactful second challenge.
So we see Nomen run into Meditations now. Meditations just stripping Fate off of characters, something you don't really see. I mean, these are the provinces to attack, though. Maybe Heinzel should just let this break and take down opposed. And then you could do Void. So we see a court games to honor the plagiarist here. This makes me feel like there could be a forged edict from Nomen. Although he doesn't have the 4 Fate to Fate Worse Than Death Heroe. The defense here is kind of suspect. I don't know why you need to defend.
I guess maybe just to prevent the unopposed.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think you want this to break, right? Like the other 3 provinces are just so much better.
Next turn, right? Because the plagiarist can just attack into the meditations, and you get no benefit from it. I guess it just depends on how much you're trying to save that 1 honor. Because I don't think that saving the province is what matters there.
Agreed. So it looks like the airing is not bugged anymore. So we see a void conflict here. He's gonna void the plagiarist. So we see 3 breaks in a Scorpion Mirror. I'm just like flabbergasted. It has come to this.
And that's kind of odd too, because I would expect for Nomen's deck to be the more aggressive of the 2.
I don't even think so. Like it's built. He just uses these attachments to like kind of waltz or like kind of I guess scout and get through the early game. He's got spies at court and stuff in his deck. Like those aren't like super aggressive cards. They don't help you get breaks. They just help you get, establish control.
There, no skirmishers either.
Yeah, so
it does seem like a more value oriented. Very interesting.
We do see Heinzel flips his own shoju here. I think both players no, Heinzel has rally. Heinzel has rally and or not Heinzel. Nomen has rally. Heinzel has entrenched.
Running entrenched under my stronghold for every time I'm playing a Scorpion since basically forever. But now I almost think that I'm doing it just out of like tradition than if it's actually correct. Like rally under the box just seems to be something that has been taken as an industry standard. I don't know. I don't know why I haven't decided to do that with my.
Oh, that's so good. Deck. Oh man, so Nomen definitely played into that one. So Heinzel in Dynasty used his stronghold, and then he got to 2-bid. So if Nomen reads that situation properly in 2 bids, he then gets to box. Even if he gets 2 to 1 bidded there, he still can box and be even.
Surprised by the 1 bid at all. Like in Scorpion Mirrors, it is very traditional for 2 to be the lowest bid. At least whenever both players are still above 2 honor.
So we do see this Nice showing work in the matchup. So we see him discarding an assassination and a Kachiko to just cycle through his deck. Having the ability to get rid of dead cards. Like Heinzel's hand size says 5, but he really only has at least 4. Or he has maximum 4 cards because we know he has a Way of the Scorpion.
Yeah. Do you think that also indicates that there is a second Kachiko in Nomen's hand?
I would believe so. But I could also see him just saving the Fate for Fate Worse Than Death, if he has his own edict to protect Fate Worse Than Death. Although Heinzel could have drawn the Censure, we'll see. Getting into a counterfight with this Watch Commander could also be problematic. If Heinzel has found a Let Go, now would be the time.
He has 2 more sources of attachment control left in his deck. It's probably not without reason to expect to say that both of them could be in the bottom half of his deck.
Yeah,
just one calling and one let go.
He played one earlier on a Pathfinder's Blade. Nomen plays the 3rd Pathfinder's Blade on the Shoju. He might go into Shameful now.
Do you think he'd just take water here?
Yeah, Bao Miyako maybe. Could bow the Liar. But if you bow Miyako, then the Liar has to make the poke attack. Or no, the Liar can't even make the poke attack.
The way that he's attacking here does very strongly indicate that there is a Kachiko in his hand, because otherwise, if he doesn't have any sort of conflict hand protection, then Heinzel can just defend with the Hirue, pull Nice, and then just be like, okay, I have an open board to do whatever I need to.
If he defends with Hirue, he risks Hirue being killed.
I think it's worth it if you're getting rid of your opponent's only defender.
Well, you'd lose. You have to defend with 2 characters. So Hero would be killed. You'd lose an honor for Dishonored. You would take unopposed, and then erring would resolve.
Sure.
So I would defend with Hero and the Liar, maybe. Heinzel does not defend. He's just gonna go to 1? And then I guess he's going to go for Fire as his first attack. Wait, Nomen goes to 1. Oh wait, Heinzel just lost. Nomen has just played his 3rd assassination. And we're waiting in the window now for the edict.
Man.
Yeah, so he's gonna get boxed to 2 and then take unopposed air.
That's something you really always have to keep in mind whenever your Scorpion opponent is at 4 in these low honor situations. I myself have assassinated to bring myself down to 1 a bunch of times.
Yep, and there it is, GG.
Finster, I think, was just really greedy on Heinzel.
Yeah, I would have defended with Hirue and the Liar, and then I would have pulled the Nice.
It makes the board so much cleaner after that. And sure, you still have to run into the Kachiko that Nomen has in his hand, but this was just, an assassination kills you, essentially.
Yeah, and my opponent has drawn, 24 cards and cycled, been able to cycle cards.
And he runs 3 assassinations,
yeah.
It had to be in there. Nope, that's that is definitely a way that Scorpion Mirrors end, is by a play that takes you down to 1, so you can use box.
Yeah, that was kind of that was a very excellent play by Nomen. I mean, like I said the game could be won via Conquest, but it will most likely be won via Dishonor.
Heinzel had it. I think he got a little too greedy on this. If we had seen some different defense, we may have seen some stronghold action happen. But Nomen made the great play to win.
Yeah.
But
so that's going to be Nomen moving on to the round of 16, which has historically been his bane.
So.
I think this locks Nomen for the Invitational, though.
Can we pull up the Invitational points?
Yeah. So pulling it up on my stream. So if I update it, so Nomen gets 7 points now from winning. And then if we filter,
I really should do this like you've done it, add it to my favorites. I just keep on having to go to Discord and then announcements and then find the link.
Oh yeah.
I've done that 10 times, I think, in the last 5 days. Heinzel now stuck at 26 points. Nomen should be on lock now to get in.
Yeah, so 31 points I believe is a lock.
No, I'm just on stream. Keep yelling at me.
All right. Well, at least we know that Chris has somebody that cares for him.
All the fun stuff.
Awesome.
So it looks like Nomen jumps me in points. So and then Michael eventually will also, right? So I'm gonna go down to like what, 5th?
Well, no, Noman's at 31, so you're still at 32. So if Noman loses next round, you're technically ahead of him.
Okay.
So if Micah loses next round, you would be ahead of him also because the first tiebreaker is deepest run. So
with Jokingly and Heinzel and Tori out.
Yeah. Currently the next so this is good for Eric also. Eric has a really good, so Eric needs to win his next, so I think Eric is playing against Demagogue and then he's playing against Nomen. So if Eric wins his next round, goes to 7, he'll go to 25 points. If Eric can beat Demagogue and then Nomen, Eric I think locks also.
That'd be quite the jump.
I mean, he would have earned it. He would have earned it for sure with beating two incredibly strong players. So yeah, so Eric, so Goblin Guide is out too. He's not in the running. So Eric, Joe, Kingsley, and Nix are the people that gain the most from this.
Is Nix the bottom line, right there?
Nix is at 26.
Is that the cutoff, right? 8 spots. Or?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Nix is currently the cutoff at 26. And then also, you know, one of these players could win. I think Shudarev is still in the cup also. So he could win and get a higher seed.
That would help everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was why when I won, everyone was already happy. They're like, "Oh, cool! This just frees up a spot."
Bill, right? Or is Bill lost?
Bill, I think is still in the cup. Yeah, he's playing against Jazoin on Sunday at 1 p.m. So Bill's just playing for seeding at this point. You know, being the number 1 at large, or trying to to win to get one of the top 4 seeds.
All right. Well, then everyone out there root for Bill and Shoot.
Yeah. You want if Bill or Shoot win the cup, then that frees up that just trickles the points down really nicely. So yeah, you know, the invitational race is heating up. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, and thanks again for casting.
Hey, friends.